Resilience, focus, discipline, courage. Some of the key ingredients in manifesting your vision into a reality. Join me as we delve into what it takes to make your mark. Hello and welcome to the Make Your Mark talk show. My name is Kim Niles and I'm going to be your host for today. So in the studio today, we have a very special guest. We have Sean Maingot from Body by Chosen. Many are called, but few are chosen. So Sean has been in the industry, the fitness industry, for over 10 years now. And one of the things is you mentioned to me when we spoke, is that you're very, very passionate about community, which led you to starting Mentorship by Chosen. So Sean, what I would love for you to do, because I know you're going to do a much better job than I can, would you be able to tell our viewers a little bit about you?
Okay. Well, to touch on myself, I would just say I come from a background of family. So it's always been in me to want to give back. And I've always just felt it was just a need to do things like that. I mean, I'm the youngest in my family, but it wasn't just, even though it's just me and my sister, I grew up with a lot of cousins, a lot of aunts that are close to my age. So it was always that family aspect that I always wanted to incorporate into everything I do. So with Body by Chosen or Mentorship Chosen, it's always been about kind of uniting everybody and everyone coming together. Before the actual training fitness thing, I was really into basketball. I played a lot of basketball from middle school until high school, college as well. And then I kind of switched gears, went to the fitness thing. I mean, it was kind of an easy transition just because they kind of relate. And it kind of just fitness kind of filled the void I missed when I was playing basketball. Because I think we all need something that we're actually really passionate about doing. Because if you're not, then I mean, what are we really doing, right? So I found that's how I kind of went into the fitness thing.
Okay, so, and I second that. Anyone that probably follows me knows I'm a huge fitness advocate. Yeah. I'm more so I would say a more movement advocate, because when people think of fitness, sometimes they think of just, group fitness type style, but I'm about the strength piece of it and the mental health piece, that what it serves me every day is just that space for myself to really work against myself. Yeah. So it sounds to me that this has been really an outlet for you, because you played it through high school, through college, and now it led you to starting your own gym. Yes. What was that pinnacle moment where you felt, you know what, I need to open my own space?
I think even to touch on the beginning, we just like to work out. We wanted to get in shape. We were tired of kind of being small and skinny. So it was let's start going to the gym. So we started going to the gym, and then it was people kept wanting to come train with us. So at first we kind of just had big group workouts where it'd be 20 of us just working out. And after a while, then other people want to start working. And we could kind of make this a business. I mean, Dwayne, who's the founder of Body by Chosen, his father actually did personal training before. And his company's called Body by Dex. That's kind of how we got the Body by Chosen. So that's kind of how that went together. So because of that aspect, so we had kind of had that blueprint. So we're okay, maybe we can make this something where we can actually benefit monetarily from our passion.
Okay. So in growing up, did you see yourself here now being a founder, president of a fitness chain?
Not at all. I think what happens with a lot of young black males, and I'm glad that I didn't get stuck in it, is we play basketball for so long, especially sports, and then life hits you when it's what am I supposed to do next? I have a lot of friends that kind of have hit that roadblock where it's okay, basketball didn't work out, so what am I gonna do next? And you're kind of stuck. So luckily for myself, I had a kind of a smooth transition where it kind of just laid right over. But again, I didn't know this is what I was gonna do. At first, I just was okay, maybe I can get a couple clients, make a couple dollars. And then I was okay, maybe a lot of people started coming, so maybe we can get a couple people to work for us. And I was okay, maybe we should get a gym. Okay, maybe we should start trying to expand everything. And it kind of just went from there, kind of spiraled from there.
So in growing up, did you believe that was your aspirations to play in the NBA?
I think of course, every young boy's dreams, I think we started off with, I want to play in the NBA.
And then when did reality kick in?
When I got to grade 12 and I was still 5'9", I was okay, maybe the NBA is not. But then after a while, I was there's still so many outlets. You can go play in Europe, you can play here, you can play in China, you can just many places where you can actually play and make a decent amount of money, where it's to still make the same amount of money you're working down here playing, right? So it's like, okay, I could kind of do that and kind of transition through there. But then through some health scares, I couldn't keep doing that. So I had to kind of stop, and then the fitness thing laid over, and then it kind of just went from there.
Okay. So why the passion behind community?
I feel it's just, I just remember growing up and just, I remember being younger, and then now I think of myself growing up, wishing that I had some type of guidance, like wishing I had people that looked like me that told me to do certain things that I should be doing, instead of kind of, because when we grow up, we kind of had like people like 2 or 3 years older than us. They don't know much either, right? Mm-hmm. So now that I'm older and I've experienced a couple of things that can help the younger children, it's like I wish I had that. So it's kind of just giving back and just doing what I wish, like paying it forward. You know what I mean? Do unto others as you want done to yourself. So it's just kind of works with that kind of aspect. And again, like it's like a family thing. Like I grew up with so many people in my family, and it's like I just feel comfortable in that atmosphere.
Okay, amazing. So going back to, where's your gym located?
It's just at 195 Church Street, so just on Church and Dundas.
Okay. And how is it for you? How long have you had the facility?
We've had that facility since 2014.
2014. So just going on 5 years.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what has it been like for you becoming an entrepreneur? Because it was one thing, I'm sure, wanting to work out and just working out with your buddies, but then when it became serious, what did that feel like?
I mean, the worst thing about it, not say there's a lot of bad things about it, but once money comes into play, everything changes. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like
big time.
When we first started Body by Chosen, I mean, it was, people used to get intimidated because it was probably like just 15 big black guys just working out. So people didn't want to work with us. Like they would be like, oh, it's too intimidating, it's this and that. And then it's like your friends, but then it's like, so because whatever business there is, there's people on top, there's people below, and how that works. So I feel a lot of times people might feel just because you've done something, they feel they can do it, or they feel like they should be in the position that you're in. And it sucks because you kind of want to grow with certain people, but certain people don't feel that they're quote unquote beneath you, even though it's not that, but it kind of is that at the same time. You know what I mean? So that transitioning from it's just working out and having fun to, okay, we're trying to make money, have a business, and everyone's growing up, everyone's getting older, everyone has bills to pay, children, all these kind of things. So it's like, I understand why certain things happen, but it's like, it's sad at the same time. So it's like, it's very, very, very challenging, especially mentally. I'm lucky I'm a patient person. So is Dwayne, because if we weren't, I don't think we would have continued doing what we're doing, because I mean, we've taken a lot of losses. There's a lot of gains, but people will never know about the losses because obviously you don't show that. But it's just transitioning and just keep pushing forward every day, just trying to get better and move forward.
Yep. And I mean, coming from the fitness industry, so I was in the fitness industry for quite some time. I find one of the biggest things that you fight is ego.
Yeah.
That's what you fight, especially working in a place where somehow within, I guess in any industry, you would have that in whether it's actors, actresses, or dancers, but in the fitness industry, specifically around, say, trainers, you get this high ego
100%.
Where it's like, you don't know how to train, I know how to train. Yeah. People are going to get results with me. Yeah. You know, they're not getting results with you. Yeah. When both you and I know, results really comes down to the individual.
And they're eating.
Right? 80% of how someone looks is what they put in their body. 100%. So it have nothing to do with you. Yeah. Obviously, we all play a part in getting them to their goals, but then there's this ego piece that comes in and people start measuring and the competition kicks in. Yeah. So how has that impacted your business? Especially because you are working with, you know, and I say this because I know you're saying you started, 15 black guys, everyone's pumped, testosterone's going, everyone feels like I'm the man. Yeah, exactly. And I've seen this. I've literally had to break things up. Yeah. So what did that look like for you?
When it came to like our group of people, like it never really got like disrespectful or out of hand or anything like that. I mean, people obviously feel like they didn't have to be like, felt like they could do things on their own, which I mean, more power to you, because I'm not, and we're not trying to hold anybody back from what they feel their full potential is. And again, we were always trying to help people reach their full potential, but just kind of under the umbrella, which is how you grow. I mean, it's impossible to grow by yourself, but again, people don't kind of understand that. And I'm glad I understood that from when I was younger. So it was moving forward with that. I feel most of that kind of ego and all that I'm a better trainer than you and all that kind of stuff. That we see that every day. Like my clients show me messages all the time of people messaging them, like messaging their DMs, oh, you should come train with me, or I'll train you, I'll give you a couple free sessions, and just sucker stuff like that, where it's like, and the sad case is that most of it is black males that are messaging them and doing it, and then they'll be the same ones I'll see on their posts saying, oh, we don't work together. It's like, you're trying to take from my plate. And there's how many people in Toronto, you don't need to train who I train, just kind of do your own thing. But I mean, that ego stuff, like, I don't really play into it. There's been a couple times where I kind of, because again, testosterone, I don't feel like I have a high ego, but it's when I feel like disrespected. That's when I feel like, okay, why are you disrespecting me? Because I feel like if you're trying to take food out of my money out of my pocket, that means essentially how I think about it is like, you don't want my daughter to eat. Like, you don't want my son to eat. You don't want me to have a roof over my head. So that's when I get angry and kind of disrespectful at that point. But it's like, I know that I'm gonna do well just because I know myself. And I don't really watch people's face. I don't watch all that kind of stuff. I let you guys do what you want to do, but at the end of the day, we're doing fine. And the reason why we're doing fine is because we're not paying attention to what you guys are doing over there.
Yes. And many are called, but few are chosen.
Exactly.
On that note, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
From a tender age, I recognized that I was not the average girl. I was always opinionated, outspoken, and for the most part, unapologetic. I was born to lead, to inflict positive change, to serve. I was born a leader. Harnessing this internal drive led me to spearheading several businesses while unlocking potential within large organizations in director roles throughout the city. While on this quest, I discovered my love for people and passion for personal development. Throughout my career, I have mentored hundreds of individuals, both personally and professionally, channeling my belief of self-care and with an avid love for fitness. Daily, I nurture my mind, body, and soul, embracing the very act of self-love. I truly do believe that you cannot give what you don't have. With a commitment to living on purpose and within my purpose, my personal mantra is to leave better than I met.
Hello and welcome back to the Make Your Mark talk show. And we're having some great conversation today with Sean Maingot from Body by Chosen. So Sean, tell us, what was one of your greatest accomplishments?
I think one of my probably greatest accomplishments, I would say, would be starting Mentorship by Chosen.
Okay.
Just because I know how important the community is, and I know how much some people need extra help, extra push, just extra motivation. So I think out of all the things that I do on a weekly basis, that's the most gratifying for me when it comes to like business.
Okay. And what does your mentorship program consist of?
So it consists of, usually we have some topics we touch on, sort of like, for example, like bullying, entrepreneurship, leadership skills. So it's a lot of stuff that I wish that I was taught when I was younger. And then like I kind of try to instill it into the youth and what they're doing. And again, it's just like give people a little outlet. I feel like a lot of times, especially mentorship programs or people that are trying to give advice, they don't look like myself or yourself. So when like you usually take better advice from someone that you feel that's gone through things you've gone through or can imagine going through things I don't want to take advice from someone that's never lived on my street or knows how my mom lived in a single parent household or anything like that, right? So it's like if you don't know what I've been through, it's like how can you kind of help me get through it?
Absolutely. And I could totally see the mentorship program being super successful, especially because the representation factor is there coming from a younger Black man. Because usually what I find in the mentorship world, and it just, when I see mentorship, I usually think of older people because that's the representation that I have seen.
100%.
So hearing that, yourself and your team being younger Black men have curated a mentorship program is huge, because I think one of the things for young people is they really want to see themselves. Yeah. And sometimes when they see their dad, it's not as motivating as if they can see someone that can relate, that lived in their era, that have experienced the things that they have experienced.
No, exactly.
So, Sean, taking it on a total different turn now, what would you say be one of the times where you felt a lot of self-doubt? You felt like giving up. You felt like, you know what, this was not for me.
Okay, I'll bring it to, so we had, it was probably 2010. We had put together this big, again, a community event. So it was supposed to be a basketball game we were supposed to do at Ryerson. And because we had some affiliations that were supposed to be part of the game, like the cops canceled it. But how it was canceled was we planned everything for like 6 months. We went to the police station. We handed everything in. We had our security that was supposed to be there. We had on-site cops that were supposed to be there. So we followed all the guidelines. It was literally, we had people flying in from the States, paid for everything. Everything was done. We just had to basically waiting for the money to come back in from the event so we can cover all costs. Literally the night before, we got a call from the cops saying that they're not gonna be at the event, that because of some affiliations. And then after that, we got a call from Ryerson saying that we can't do the event no more. So it was like everything kind of just hit down fast. And we were planning this event for like 6 months. People flew in from different countries, and we just were stuck. Like we had nothing. Like at that point, it was just like, okay, what's the point? It was like, we're trying to do good. We're trying to do better things and try to involve like the whole community. And it was like, just with one phone call, everything can kind of end. So it's like, what's the point of even trying to do things like that? So that kind of deterred us from doing things. But then again, even that didn't last too long though. But I mean, at that period, at that point in time, it was like, I don't really care to do this kind of thing anymore.
Okay. And I mean, I would say anyone that's tried to do anything good, we've experienced that point where it's like, really, why am I doing this?
What's the point?
Yeah, what's the point? If I'm going to get so much pushback, like, why am I really doing this? So good on you for continuing and pushing through. Did you ever end up still having the event?
No, we didn't. And the thing is that that was an event for Dwayne's brother that had passed too. So it was like, it was all that on top of it. It was just so much. We still want to do that event, but it was like, we just haven't gotten back to it. So eventually, hopefully we can get that done.
Okay. So pushing through, moving forward after that event, what was something else that would have been a life changer for you that you felt that, you know what, wow, like maybe God's trying to show me a sign, like something else had happened in your life?
I'd say like, again, during the whole fitness journey. So again, when we started, we did a lot of mobile training. So we'd drive and we were both from Pickering, so we both lived in Pickering. So we'd drive all the way to Brampton like to train one client, just because we're trying to get the brand out there. And anybody knows that you're trying to start a brand, it's a lot different than when you're just personal training, because a brand is way bigger than just going to someone's house and training them. So we're trying to make everything large. And then so what happened, I had a car that I had gotten from my uncle in the States, and everything, all the license wasn't registered and all that kind of stuff. So we got stopped by the police, and then like they impounded the car and did all this kind of stuff. And it was just like, again, it's like every time we try to do something, and it's like, I just felt like it didn't make sense anymore to kind of just keep trying to do the business. And it was like everything just, for some reason, something comes in and messes with the progression of it. You know what I mean?
Okay. So, and how did you bounce back from that? Because I know what that feeling's like when it's like another one, a strike. So strike one, strike two, what's the next? And you're kind of sitting there thinking, okay, what's next?
It's funny because like after that, we just had people kind of drive us to clients. Like, this is before Uber, so we just had like people be able to drive us to clients. And like we honestly always just found a way. I don't know what it was, but like no matter what we kind of went through, it was just like, okay, we got to continue doing this, because like I didn't want to work for anybody else. It was kind of like I got the taste of being an entrepreneur and like it being quote unquote legal. It's not nothing illegal that I'm doing. I'm just trying to make money. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I can't. And I was never someone where I can like go work for a job. I remember like walking out of like 10 jobs. I'm like, I don't like how you're talking to me. I'm going home, kind of thing. So it's like I just don't. It's just not. It wasn't for me. And when you get that entrepreneurial, once you get that feel, it's like you want to be like, you don't want to do anything else other than that. You know what I mean?
I like how you said that, because I've said that before.
Yeah.
I said, I actually don't like your tone.
Yeah.
I'm gone. Like, I'm sorry.
Like, I remember
And
this.
I remember the manager standing there,
Yeah.
and he's like, "No, I don't like your tone. Like,
Yeah.
I'm out."
Yeah,
Right?
you lucky you said all that. I just went on break and I'm like, I didn't come back. I'm like, I'm out of here, man.
Not saying that you should do
No,
that.
definitely not. I'm not. When it comes to, I'm a bad example for that.
Yes, I would say that, you know what, and I think what I'm feeling here from us is that we share the same value, which is respect.
Yeah.
So as soon as I feel disrespected, that's where I go sideways.
Yeah.
And as I get older, it's something that I continue to work on, but I also become more vocal about it as well, where I speak what's on my mind, and I really don't believe in going to bed with anything. I just, it is what it is. Like, if today's my last day, at least I told you how I felt.
Yeah.
So now, in talking about some similar values and respect, how do you know who to trust? Because in an industry where it can be very shady, for lack of better words, how do you know who to trust and keep in your circle?
I think that's an everyday struggle. I don't think you'll ever know who you can exactly trust. I mean, we had a couple people that we brought into the business, and then it was like, to keep a long story short, a lot of money went missing. So it was like, okay, what happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, we have that one location we have now, but we had two other locations. We had a location in Montreal for a little bit, and we had a location in Mississauga. But because of how other people that we trusted or we brought into the team those had to go. We had to put those on the back burner and kind of cancel those, right? So it's like, you can trust people, but like, who do you really trust? I don't know how to answer that question. You know what I mean? It's like,
And it's so sad because it's from being in the gym industry, I know how that stuff happens really, really well, in terms of, you know, catching people that you really trust that are stealing from you, and you're just like, how? Like, why? Like, you build, and the thing about the industry is that you start to build such a close relationship with people that you really can't believe this person's been staring me in my eye and been siphoning out all the money. And you find out at the end of the month, like, the books aren't being balanced. What's going on here? You're taking clients away from us. Like, how does this work? So it's unfortunate that it has to be that way, especially within an industry. And I find that's always like that within service industries, because it's not tangible. It's not product for product, right? It's literally service. So how did you and your partner deal with having to make the decision of closing your Montreal location and your Mississauga location?
well, the Montreal one just it had to go. How everything was formatted, it wasn't formatted for success. So it was like, we're just gonna keep losing money. So it didn't really make sense. So we kind of found a way to kind of cancel the contract, and we kind of just did that. The Mississauga one was a little tougher because, again, we liked a lot. I still like a couple of guys that worked out of that gym. It was just how everything was structured and how everything was managed. It was like, it didn't make sense to move forward. So they kind of still do their own thing, and then we kind of move forward. So they kind of we just kind of canceled the name. So they kind of run their own little business now, outside of all of us being Body by Chosen.
Okay. So what would you say has been one of the toughest decisions for you to make personally?
Me personally, because Body by Chosen is such a family thing, like, it's hard to have to let people go. You know what I mean? And it's like, in terms of like business, and not even so much pleasure, but business and business relationships. Like, unfortunately, once you cut the business one off, everyone tries to say business, you keep them separate, but it's impossible. You know what I mean? Once someone says, okay, I don't want you working here no more, or it's not good for the business, automatically emotions come into that, and it tarnishes whatever relationship you guys had outside of that. And I think that's probably the hardest part of the business side of that, because I hate disappointing people.
Okay. So, one of the things for me and I think this is something you learn in being a leader, is that business and pleasure does not mix.
Yeah.
They do not mix. And I learned, I would say I've always been very much a leader where I would keep business very separate from personal, although people relied on me a lot. But I've had to coach a lot of managers through this, where I tell them, like, where you eat you keep that separate from where you sleep.
Yeah, 100%.
And you get that really well working in the gym industry. Like we can't mix the two.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you start to mix the two, they don't go together, because not everyday things are going to be kosher.
Yeah.
And how did you find, did you find that you learned that throughout the way? Is it difficult? Do you find it's difficult? Because one of the things about that industry is it's so easy to get so comfy and close so quickly. And then when you need to make business decisions, unfortunately, people don't understand that you need to make business decisions. It comes down to the numbers. It's not about the feelings.
Yeah.
And I've always found it easier just to keep it very separate. But I understand that if you're not you're coming into it from a place of, you know what, I want to help people, you can have those two blended together very easily.
Yeah.
How did you deal with that?
Sorry, can you answer that question one more time?
So essentially, mixing business and pleasure.
Yeah.
How have you dealt with that? Because the two don't go together really well. So if it's in situations where, especially where you've tried to create a family atmosphere, and usually, and this is really the truth, businesses that try to create a family atmosphere run into it very often.
Yes, 100%.
Where it's like you got to make a business decision, but you know, when you have a family atmosphere, we're all, you know, big hugs and kisses, but yet at the same time, you might have to get rid of one of the family members. So how have you dealt with that in terms of, have you learned through your journey that mixing business and pleasure is tough, or does it work for you? Maybe it works for you.
I would say it, I can't say it doesn't work, and I can't say it does work. I think there's benefits on both sides. I mean, if someone's actually working hard and doing what they're supposed to do, and you feel like they're family, I mean, it's great, because the atmosphere is beautiful. Like I love when we're in the gym, everyone's laughing, everyone's joking, everyone's, you know, working out together. And again, remember, when you're working out, you're probably in your most vulnerable state, because you're working out. I mean, sometimes you're tired, sometimes you're not tired. It's just the energy, and I'm big on energy. It's the energy that you bring in a gym that can be contagious, or it can be the exact opposite. And we've had people in our gym, again, that felt like family, but their energy was just toxic. And that obviously rubs off on other people. And that, so again, like there's benefits to it, and there's consequences to it as well. I'd say it's still a learning experience. I think everything is different. Every kind of situation has been different. Between 5 or 6 times where we had to kind of deal with things like that, there've always been like different circumstances. So I can't say that some have been positive. So I can't say it's all positive. I can't say it's all negative.
Okay, gotcha. On that note, we are going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to the Make Your Mark Talk Show. We are having some great conversation around business resiliency, and with Sean Maingot from Body by Chosen. So Sean, now I wanted to get into more of the holistic piece for you. How do you take care of yourself? And one of the things that you mentioned in your bio is that you are a cancer survivor.
Yes.
So how has that experience impacted your life?
I would say it made me look at things a lot differently, obviously. I mean, when it happened, it was before we started Body by Chosen. So it was that's when I kind of say it was the transition into fitness. So I found out that I had it when I was playing basketball, when I was on my journey to do whatever I was trying to do with basketball. So it was like, I got a lymph node inside of my neck. I went to a doctor. Obviously, they said it's nothing, like they always do. Then I got another one on the side of the neck, and I started developing a cough. So that's kind of how I found out it was happening. Went to the doctor, and then went through all the chemo and all that kind of stuff. Then after that was done, it was like, okay, I need to get back in to what I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get back in shape, because I had lost a lot of weight. Before I actually went through the chemo, I wasn't kind of in the best shape I've ever been into. And then obviously with the chemo, you kind of lose everything. I remember waking up after one dose of chemo and I think I was maybe like 165 pounds at that point before. And then like after like one dose of chemo, I don't know how, like I would drop to like 130 the next day. It was
Oh,
like,
wow.
it was crazy. Like I woke up the next day, I was like, yo, I didn't even look the same. And it was like, okay. So after everything was done, I kind of got finished my chemo rounds. I actually didn't finish all of it. So like they had told me that I was supposed to do another dose, but I was like, the way I feel right now is if I continue to do this, I'm not gonna make it through it because I was really small and I wasn't eating properly and all kinds of things. So I kind of stopped chemo a little earlier than I was supposed to, and I actually went to go see a naturopath. And then through that, naturopath kind of just told me, because actually, sorry, before that, I'd asked if the tumor was gone because I had a tumor in my chest. They said it was like the size of a softball around my heart. So once they said that was gone, I was like, okay, I don't want to take the chemo anymore. So I went and saw a naturopath, and they kind of just gave me a whole bunch of things I should take to kind of get the chemo out of my body. Because again, that's actually the killer, is the chemo, not so much as the tumors and everything else. So once that was out of my body, and after I seen that, obviously my eating and everything had to change a little bit. So, and I wouldn't say I'm no saint as eating right now. Like chocolate's my best friend. I kill chocolate every day, but it's
We're
like
friends. See, this is why we get along.
so it's like, but I had to make better decisions, and fitness just made sense. So I started working out again, and then I got in touch with Dwayne, and then he started the Body by Chosen thing, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna rock with it, and that's kind of how that kind of incorporated into it, and I kind of just went with it through that. So I think it helps me, of course, when it comes to like clients and testimonials, and I can kind of just come from a place, like everyone has a different journey. And I never try to say my journey was tougher than somebody else's, because again, God only gives you as much as you can handle. But I feel my story can help people push through some things that they've gone through, because you can do it. It's not too hard, you know what I mean?
Good for you for pushing through and really taking the journey and turning it around for yourself.
Yeah.
So talk to us about the fear that you felt, because getting news like that has to be like we could be sitting right here right now, but then you go to the doctor and they tell you that, and I don't think you don't remember anything.
Yeah.
So tell us what that felt like for you and how you dealt with that.
So I remember, actually the first time when I went to the walk-in clinic and they gave me the results, they had said that it might be cancer. But I was like, okay, what the hell does might be mean? I'm not going to tell people I have cancer if it might be cancer. So it was me and my mom that went to the doctor at that point, and I was like, obviously that fear hit me, but it was like I had more fear of telling my mother because I didn't want her to feel a certain way about it. So I was like, I'm gonna hug it. I'm not gonna say anything about it until I actually have real results. So I remember actually, like, do you remember that show called House? It was like a doctor show or whatever it was.
House. Oh, yes.
So like I never knew there was actually doctors like that like so cold-blooded and like just tell you what it is right away. So I remember like one morning after like running tests for about 3 weeks, a doctor came into the room to talk to me, and I was there by myself. He's like, okay, you have cancer. I was like, okay. Right? So it kind of hit me hard then. I was never, I think there's maybe 2 times during the chemo and all that kind of stuff where I felt like really down on myself, but I always feel like I had to show a tougher face for my family. Again, like growing up, like all my family's females. So like I've always had to put on a kind of a tough face, and I didn't want them to feel down already. They already felt bad enough as it was. I was going through something. So I didn't want them to see that I felt down going through it as well, try to lift their spirits with it. So it was never a time where I was like too down on myself, especially in front of people. But again, there was maybe 2 or 3 times where I was like, okay, like I'm kind of sick of doing this kind of thing.
So do you ever feel, and thank you for mentioning the fact that, you were the only male around females. Do you feel that it was hard for you to show emotion? Because you did mention that you had to be strong. Mm-hmm. Was there times that you felt like you wanted to show emotion, but you couldn't?
For me, I'm not the most emotional person. Like I internalize a lot of things, which I know isn't the greatest way to deal with things, but it's worked for me for 33 years. So like I kind of stick with it. I mean, there's probably a couple of times where I maybe have showed like sadness with it. I think there was only one of the times is when like the doctor had told me that I might not be able to have children, because I was always I want to have kids kind of thing. So that hit me kind of hard when he told me that. But luckily I have children now, so it didn't work out to what they thought it was going to be. But I think that was the only thing that really hit me hard, where I was like, okay, I'm kind of scared. And I was never kind of fearful for my life when I was dealing with it. I've always had that positive attitude where it's like, okay, I'll kind of just deal with it.
Okay.
Get over with.
Okay. Internalizing it.
Yeah, I know.
But so you also took the journey and you did something quite remarkable with a push-up for cancer. Yeah. Tell us about that.
Okay, so it was Push Up for a Purpose, and I ran it 2 times, and I want to do it again, hopefully this year and hopefully next year, one of the two. So basically, it was just an event that I put on just to kind of raise money for lymphoma, which is the cancer I had. And again, I had lost a friend to that same cancer a year before I actually did the event, and it was just something I felt I needed to do, just because like I've gone through it, and it's just to bring more awareness to that it can happen to younger people as well. Because when I had it, I was like 21. And a lot of times people think, okay, I'm healthy. Like I was healthy. I played sports. I didn't eat terrible. I was okay. Like that, this can happen to people. Just to bring awareness, kind of to just let people know that it's possible, and just kind of stay fit as much as you can. And then again, on top of that, it's just to shed some light on people that have passed, that have gone through it, and people that have are going through it at the same time, just to kind of show some support towards that.
Okay. Wow. So, and where did you have this?
So the first one we had it in Scarborough. It was at a gym in Scarborough. We had it, and then the second time we had it at our gym, and then we walked over to Yonge and Dundas, and then we So one of the things we do is I tell everyone. So I have stickers, I have balloons, and I say to either write someone's name that you've lost to cancer, or someone dealing with cancer, and then we kind of release the balloons into the sky. And then,
oh wow,
yeah,
that's beautiful. Okay, and you're doing it again this year?
Hopefully. The thing is that we just recently got our charity license, so we can actually give charitable receipts to people who donate. And the thing is, I didn't want to do the event again, and where it wasn't to the magnitude of how I want it to be. And like I don't want to get certain people involved, and then they control this, they control that. I want kind of full control of everything. So having the actual charitable number gives us access to be able to do it on a larger scale. So I wanted to do it like that rather than just do it on a smaller scale.
Awesome. So that's amazing. So that way you can actually make this have a more meaningful impact. Yeah, and the people that are giving back, they can at least get their money back.
Exactly.
So good for you. So it's more of a strategic approach.
Exactly.
Awesome. Love it. Well, thank you so much for sharing your journey around being a cancer survivor, and also how you've taken this, what has happened to you, and now you use it and you help with getting the awareness out to others around that type of cancer. Yeah. Thank you so much. On that note, we're going to take a quick break and we will be right back.
It took a lot to get to this place, to feel comfortable to wear my own hair. It took a lot of reflection and coaching and support from the team here, and of course my family. I know my husband really was looking forward to this experience of me exposing my hair, but I was afraid. I won't lie, I was afraid. I didn't know how it would come out. I had been so used to wearing units that I couldn't imagine myself exposed with such a short cut, my jawline and everything just kind of out there. But all in all, I have to say it was definitely a freeing experience, and I'm so grateful for it. And I definitely would recommend it to anyone who has that self-doubt or that unsurety about exposing natural hair. I definitely would take that chance.
Hello and welcome back to the Make Your Mark talk show. We are having some great conversation with Sean Maingot from Body by Chosen. So Sean, we left off talking around the fact of, you being a cancer survivor and how you took your journey and you're now impacting others with it. What are your support systems personally that help you to cope daily?
Well, support systems, of course, first is family. I'm a husband, so I have a wife. She's obviously very supportive. My children are the best, especially my princess. I put her first, obviously, quote unquote. But I think one of the greatest things, again, even to touch on my daughter, is when she tells me certain things like, we said certain things like, okay, Daddy, you don't have to go to work today. You're the boss, kind of thing. And I think that pushes me to do so much more because she's already in her head. She's already thinking, okay, if I'm a boss, I don't have to listen to other people, kind of thing.
How old is she?
She's 6. She just turned 6.
Okay.
So my son's born on the 28th of April, and she's born on the 29th of April. So
Oh, wow.
a day apart, but 4 years apart.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think my family, of course, my mother, of course, from day zero. You know what I mean? My sisters, again, my family, all females, are all really supportive of me. And then just the team, like our team, again, we're very family orientated. Dwayne's like a big brother, and he's family again. He's family outside of this family, so it's just kind of everything. We kind of work well together in that aspect.
Okay, awesome. And now you have such a big community and support systems. Now, how has social media, that big word, social media, how has that impacted you? Does that help you to stay connected with your family? And how does that impact your life?
I try to keep my family and social media kind of separate because I feel like social media to me is all business. I don't think because I'm such a quiet person, like naturally, I don't think if it wasn't for business, I don't think I would have much social media. But because social media is everything right now and it's been everything for the last literally 8-9 years, it's been very important. I mean, for a long time, people used to say like, how much you guys spend on marketing? How much? We spent zero on marketing. Our marketing all went to Instagram, Facebook. Maybe we'd buy flyers and go hand flyers out. I mean, I remember a couple of years I'd go hand flyers out at Caravana, things like that. And it's just, social media for me is it's just a way you can just display everything for nothing. It's like, if someone has what drives me crazy sometimes is people have like a business and their page is private. It's like,
What's the point of that?
what does that make zero sense? You know what I mean? It's like, even if sometimes people have like their personal page and then their business page, but their personal page is more popping than their business page. It's like, what is the point of this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Transfer that account to the other account where you have 6,000 followers instead of the account where you have 2,000 followers. More people will see your things and just things like that. I mean, for me, it's done everything when it comes to the business, and like it's taught me to learn things. And like, again, being an entrepreneur, you have to learn on the fly, and things change every day. Like, if you look at my Instagram page now, I just have a whole bunch of videos of other people. Like, I don't display myself because it's like, okay, we know you can work out, we know you're in shape, but can make other people work out? A lot of people have a whole bunch of stuff for themselves. Like, people don't care. They don't care about myself. They want to see what I can do for other people. And so I kind of just displayed that, and it's like, and it's always changing. So it's like, and even that sometimes like my page gets kind of repetitive. It's like, okay, you've seen it, but did somebody else see it? Or because that everyone's page is a network. So like, for my page, I have a lot of people doing videos, right? But I strategically do that because I want them to post it on their page. I don't care about my page. Everyone knows what I do, but does everyone on their page know what I do? You know what I'm saying? So now when they post it, it's okay. Now my network is exposed to a whole like 2,000 other people. And I kind of just base everything on that when it comes to social media. And it's like the easiest way to market yourself. Like, people don't watch TV no more. People watch Instagram. Like, people don't watch commercials on TV or hear commercials on radio. They see Instagram, they see Facebook, they see these things. And it's like, people don't use them how they're supposed to be used, I feel. And I think we've done a really good job of using Instagram and Facebook and all these social media platforms for our business.
Okay, that's amazing. So has social media ever impacted your mental health in terms of looking at it and feeling like you're not doing good enough?
All the time. I mean, I think we all have our own little insecurities. Being in fitness, of course, you'll see someone that's more in shape than you, has maybe more followers or whatever the case may be, where you think, okay, maybe I need to up my game. So it kind of works. It can help you give you that ambition to strive a little harder, but it can also obviously put you in a space where like you feel you're not doing enough. And I always feel like I'm not doing enough, but I think it's just a entrepreneurial mind state. Like, you can always be doing more, no matter what you've done. It's like there's always more to be done, kind of thing.
Okay, and so, Sean, as we start to wrap up the show, what would you say some lessons are that you've learned as being an entrepreneur that you could share with our viewers, like your top few lessons that you've learned?
I would say one of our mottos is let's talk more action. Like
I saw that actually. I
Yeah.
like that.
like stop telling everybody what you're trying to do it first, and then let that speak for it. Another one would be, don't be afraid to adapt, don't be afraid to change. Watch other people, and you'll learn things from other people. Like, you don't have to, like, everything on this planet has been done before. Like, you're not doing anything new, but you can put your own taste on it and do things in a way that you do them, even though it's copied or imitated from somebody else. I would say keep learning, obviously. Don't put too much trust into other people, because that can backfire, obviously. And just stay positive. I mean, I think everything changed for us when it came to the business when me, myself, and Dwayne had read the book The Secret, and we had
It's a powerful book.
yeah, remember we used to watch that movie like every day, like 5 times a day, just kind of just trying to get our mind state to think like that. And I feel like that helped us go to a different level, because again, the energy stuff, and we just always had a positive energy, and just always thought that if we think the right things will happen, and things will find their way, make their due.
And it's so true. Energy is contagious. And when you sometimes find yourself in a space that you're like, how did I get here? And then you do kind of a self-check, it's usually a reflection of how you were feeling in that moment, that you've attracted that what's around you. So energy, I'm a huge fan of, be conscious of what's happening in your space, and you will also get back what you give out into the atmosphere.
100%.
So, Sean, tell us a little bit, give us some details on what happens at Body by Chosen.
Well, Body by Chosen. So right now we're personal training, group training, and boot camp gym. That's gonna change soon. We're gonna offer a couple memberships and stuff like that. But at the moment, that's kind of where our bread and butter is. We do a lot of group training, which incorporates a lot of functional training, so body weight training, calisthenics, so like parkour workouts and stuff like that. We also do weights. We first started with just boxing, kickboxing. A lot of people don't know that. So at first we just go mobile trainers at people's houses, and we just do boxing, kickboxing with them, because it's absolutely one of the best workouts you can do, especially for losing weight, which a lot of people wanted to do. It was just when we started getting more female clients, and they're like, okay, we want a butt. It's like, okay, we gotta start adding weights into it. So we had to learn on the fly. And it was like, we started off with just doing this, but we're like, okay, if your customer wants this, you better figure out how to get this done, because they'll go somewhere else.
Yep.
And again, that's another thing when it comes to business. It's like you have to keep evolving. You can't stick doing one thing, because someone else is gonna offer more than you. And if I can go to someone, like I always tell people, like, if at our gym you can get boxing, kickboxing coaches. We have professional boxers. We have people that have been doing calisthenics for 10 plus years. We have people that have done fitness shows. Like, we have everything in one space. So it's like, do you go to a spot where you can only get one thing, or do you go to somewhere where you can kind of switch it up? And with fitness, you don't, like, a lot of people, especially if they're not like fitness heads, they get bored. Especially if doing, okay, I got to do squats again today. I got to do pull-ups again. Okay, but maybe today you'll do squats. Tomorrow you'll do boxing, kickboxing. You know what I'm saying? Just to keep it fresh for people.
But what they don't know is the basics will get you where you need to
100%. And that's another thing with the fitness industry, is that because a lot of people see this, people jumping on walls and doing all this foolishness that really does nothing for you.
It's just a gimmick.
It's just a gimmick, but it looks good. You know what I'm saying? So you have to toe that line of, okay, people want to see this, people want to do this, but you got to get them the results they want to get as well. So I think, especially people in our gym, I think we've done a good job with that, where we can add a couple of workouts where it's like, okay, even though these aren't the most beneficial for you on your progress, you're going to enjoy doing this, which is, again, it's very important when it comes to fitness and the mental state of doing it, because if someone's bored of doing the workouts again, they don't want to come anymore. And that's going to affect their workout as well. So you gotta toe that line where it's like, okay, I got to give you guys a little bit what you want, but again, we still have to stick to the script and get this done the proper way.
Yep, absolutely. It always amazes me. I could see it on clients' face when they come in and like, oh, great. So we're doing deadlifts again.
Yeah.
We're doing push-ups again.
Yeah.
We're doing inchworm again. We're doing all the basic stuff where they just don't get it. But that is part of the fitness world, right? The fitness world it's a $1 billion industry. And it's just like selling supplements. People believe they'd buy $1,000 bottle before they buy $1,000 worth in personal training, not recognizing that the education you're actually going to get, you can learn that with the $1,000 versus buying what's in a bottle that is just it's just a placebo effect.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. Sometimes it does really work because you've put yourself in that space to eat less or to adjust. No, but it's true, right?
Facts.
I actually think it's just so amazing how, as humans, we cleave to path of least resistance.
Yeah.
But a couple of push-ups, pull-ups, squats, deadlifts, all your foundational movements is going to get you there, doing it the right way with the right guidance. But we tend to like to, as you said, jumping and climbing the walls and doing all the fancy stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So Sean, how can people find Body by Chosen? Log on to your classes, see what you have. And I also know that you have something that's opened up to the community.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
Okay, so first I'll just touch on where you can reach Body by Chosen. So Instagram, of course, my handle is XP_chosen. Our group is Body by Chosen. Basically, if you type in Chosen, you'll find a whole bunch of Chosens, and that's all of us. So we have Facebook as well, we have Twitter, but our main thing is Instagram, which I think is the biggest outlet right now for any social media. To touch on our kids class, so we have a kids class every 1 p.m. every Saturday. It's a free kids class, open to anybody, ages anything 17 and under. We also offer like one-on-one training to people dealing with things that obviously don't want to be inside a group setting as yet. So we offer that as well. So a lot of people don't know about that as well. But it's like, and again, there's been times like, because we care so much about the community, where people have come in and they've told us about problems they're having, and I've just offered them free training where I've trained someone for maybe 6 months for no cost. But it's just because, again, the energy, and you can feel if someone's gonna come to you with problems and stuff like that, and you feel and you just know that they really need your help at that moment. Like, I don't see why someone wouldn't, push towards that and like, okay, you know what? It's not an hour of my day. It's not gonna kill me, and it's gonna help a lot of people. I think a lot of times people would put a price on their hours, and they don't put a price on their mental state. It's like, me helping someone for an hour is way better than me making like a $90 for that hour. If I know he or she is gonna have a better day, a better life, a better whatever it is by training with me once a week for free, that makes me feel way better than saying, okay, I'm gonna collect the $1,000, whatever I'll be paid for.
Yep. And that's because you're doing the right thing for the right reason.
Yeah.
And then the money will come.
Yeah.
I say that all the time, but I've been in those situations before, but in working in commercial size gyms where this person needs your help.
Yeah.
You really deep in your heart know, but unfortunately you don't have the say to say, you know what, just come in, work out for a bit, we can train you. Yeah. But the mere fact that you extend that to people based on the energy that you're getting back from them, and that you could make a difference in their lives, is a testament to, many are called, but few are chosen, and chosen to do a work that is needed within our communities today.
100%.
So thank you for that. Where can people find you on Instagram? You gave us your Instagram and your Facebook, but also on your website. One of the things I noticed is you have an apparel line which you're fully decked out in. Yeah. Tell us about that.
The apparel line is LTMA Lifestyle. And again, that goes back to our one of our mottos, Let's Talk More Action. So on that platform, we have our clothing, we have a whole bunch of chosen stuff, a whole bunch of Let's Talk More Action. Let's Talk More Action gear comes from tights to hoodies. We're gonna add, I think we have slippers about to be on there as well, water bottles and things of that nature. So we're just trying to make the brand more visible and just get as much material as we can out there. And that's on bodybychosen.com. So www.bodybychosen.com. You'll see that, then you'll see the link to Let's Talk More Action, or you can just go to the Ultimate Lifestyle.
Awesome. Now, you talked about also getting clients by wearing your brand. Tell us about that.
Again, I feel like everywhere you go, you should want to promote your brand. I mean, you are essentially your brand. Like, when people don't understand, like, your SIN number is a business. Like, you are a business. You know what I mean? So once you step out and you're like, okay, I'm trying to do something, every day is a chance where you can make more money or make your brand more visible, or just and that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? It's like, a lot of people have like any Tom, Dick, and Harry can go open up a gym. That's okay, but what's your brand like? Can you open 5 gyms? Like, you know what I'm saying? Off the strength of your name. If not, then it's okay. Then like, okay, you're stuck.
Yep.
And like, I don't want to be stuck. So we've always wanted Why Have I Chosen to be a bigger thing, a global thing, and we're pushing towards that. So it's like everywhere I go, I want people to know Chosen. I want people to just hear the name Chosen. And Chosen is just a name. It's a powerful name. People hear it and like, okay, what's that? You know what I mean?
It is a very powerful name because that's how it fully got my attention, and in seeing your marketing in terms of many are called, few are chosen. And also, as I said, I mentioned from the biblical standpoint, it definitely caught my attention for sure. And just wearing such a shirt, chosen, that is so powerful. Like, I'm chosen.
Yeah.
And who chose? I chose me.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
It's as simple as that.
Absolutely. So thank you, Sean, so much for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. It's been a pleasure just you taking us through your journey. You dropped a lot of gems throughout the show for a lot of our viewers to, really take heed to what you actually said and integrate that into their lifestyle. So thank you so very much for being here. And please make sure to follow us on Instagram at makeyourmark.ca. You can find us on Facebook as well. And you're watching the show, so you must be logged in to makeyourmark.ca. Until next time.